Hello and welcome back to episode 17 of The Sinking City. I'm Vic, and you're watching yet another Let's Play channel. So, yeah, I'm thinking that you can explain yourself.
No, Cavendish. Time for you to do some explaining. Care to tell me why you poisoned the fish at the EOD warehouse? And you better not lie to me. Oh, sorry. Is this making you angry? Yeah, two can play at that game, and believe me, I've got plenty of anger for the both of us.
How dare you?
I'm only going to ask politely once. Then my gun will do the talking.
Fine. Yes, it was me. But I had a good reason to do it. It all comes back to Anna.
Who's Anna to you? As if we don't know.
What's Anna got to do with all this?
As you might have already gleaned, she was my wife.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it all starts to come together now.
The EOD robbed me of her. It all started with the free fish. We were all short on food at the time, and then they hooked her with their nonsense about the benevolent sea and greater good. I looked past it for some time, but then...
She became pregnant.
Yes. At first, I was over the moon. But then one day she came to me, that snake, and told me that the child was not mine. She said it was blessed by the sea, that it was demanded by the EOD. Doomed take them! I couldn't stand it. I just couldn't.
Yeah, understandable.
Oh, this should be fun. What's your good reason for poisoning innocent people? You know the EOD are feeding the hungry, don't you?
No, that's exactly the problem. They're not doing it out of charity. They do it to spread their influence and recruit new members. Some of those initiates, as they call them, vanish without a trace. And not just them. They kidnap ordinary folks, too.
And poisoning the fish would prevent this. How?
Oh, you see, not everyone in this city believes in the EOD yet. They have opposition among the citizens, both rich and poor. A rumor of the EOD's fish being poisonous and several incidents would be enough to undermine the EOD by sparking fear and mistrust.
I'm thinking that a must-kill poison like ricin might be more than a little, well, overkill. Don't you think?
There must be another way to deal with the EOD. Like, if their crimes are that obvious, why don't you just go to the police?
They're resourceful, those sons of hagfish. They maintain a squeaky clean image, and they're good at it. I tried going to the police. They were no help at all. And I'm not suicidal enough to make it public and take them to court.
But you are suicidal enough to murder a bunch of innocent poor people.
What did she mean? Blessed by the sea.
What do you think is the cause of Innsmouth syndrome in people?
Living in Innsmouth?
That K-forsaken place has nothing to do with it. It comes from breeding with monsters. These sea creatures they call Deep Ones. They take our women and they spoil them with their seed. Then they give birth to degenerate fish-faced offspring.
His wife did a hentai.
Where did you learn all of this? This information about the EOD?
After Anna left, I had nothing. But I did have a lot of time to research Innsmouthers, the EOD, and the story behind them. It is an old and powerful organization. They appeared back in the mid-19th century in Innsmouth, and the first people with the Innsmouth syndrome started showing up around that same time.
Ah, perhaps not coincidentally.
No, of course not. And the EOD is immensely rich. The sudden rise to power of the Blackwood family happened right after they joined them.
So what's your next move?
was interrupted and couldn't finish my task. The EOD received a fresh haul of fish, but now they're on alert and raised their guard. I understand I'm in no position to ask. But after reviewing all the facts I've presented to you, Mr. Reed, would you agree to help me?
To help you poison poor people? No.
You're a madman, Cavendish. You're willing to let innocent people suffer and die just to get revenge on your ex-wife. No, this madness has to stop. And I'm gonna put an end to it right now.
Oh, no, no. You don't understand.
Okay. I don't know if I had to kill him. He wasn't looking super punchy. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I maybe should have done this before I decided to kill him. Now, can I change these so that they come to a conclusion? I mean, I do want to loosen the EOD's grip on the city, but I don't want to poison a bunch of poor people. And I don't like that those are my only two options. And also, George is dead, so I guess we're gonna go with that one. I'm not thrilled with the outcome there. But I guess we're gonna go help Anna now. We're done with that. Back to uni? No, that's City Hall. Not back to university. Back to the fish market. Yes. Is that the closest? It might be the closest. Come on. Closest phone booth. That's what I was thinking. Don't talk to the police. Don't worry about that. I wonder if there would have been an option where I could tell George that I was going to help him, but I wasn't going to poison poor people. Maybe I should have talked to him some more, instead of smacking him. Too late now. Can't go back. Fish market it is. Yes. I might have to redo this in my free time and find out if there's an option that I would have liked better.
Take as much as you need. It won't cost you a penny.
I found the poisoner and dealt with him. He won't be bothering you anymore.
See, bless you, Charlie. That's great news. Who was it?
I totally could have left him alive.
That's the interesting part. It was your ex-husband, George Cavendish.
Oh. Well, that son of a rotten shark finally got what was coming to him. Good riddance. Still, it's strange. I never thought he'd have the guts to do something like this. He was always a pushover.
Well, being betrayed can sometimes do that to a person.
You're taking this remarkably well for a woman who just found out her ex-husband was a poisoner.
He's nobody to me. The EOD is my family now. We serve a higher purpose than he could ever grasp. My life finally has meaning. You've done us both a huge favor by relieving him of the burden of his miserable existence. Well done, Charlie.
Yeah, definitely not a cult at all.
All right. No more messing around. Get me in touch with your Grand Poobah or whoever's in charge. Now.
Easy there, Charlie. I'm a woman of my word. Go to the basement of the fish market. It's nearby. You'll find an Innsmouther there by the name of Maurice. Tell him I've sent you. You'll get your answers.
About time.
Basement of the fish market. Is that around here someplace? That's a big old tank full of eels, isn't it? You look out of place. Here, fish market. Nope. All right. Basement of the fish market. This is the fish market. How can there possibly be a basement? Anything lower than this is going to be full of water. It's right there. That out of place guy distracted me. Weird that there's a barrier here. I'm about to get ganked. There's going to be a warp tackle in here somewhere. Shotgun ammo? When can I have a shotgun, please? Nothing unusual over there. I thought it would be something like that. Come on, get out a gun, please. Well, now I really wish I hadn't killed George. Is that it? Alright, let's see what this note is about. Kill him. A. Yeah, that's because Anna was the Grand Poobah all along, dick nuts. So now we have to go confront her.
Hey, Mr. Reed.
Do I know you, buddy?
Not yet, but I know you. I also know you're looking for a particular lady. My name's Fred. You're looking for Professor Doe, ain't that right? The scientist the Order kidnapped. I think we can help each other.
How do you mean? You know where she is?
Slow down, buddy. Helping each other is not the same as let me just tell you everything.
What is this order you mentioned?
Yeah. You don't know, do you? EOD. It really stands for the Esoteric Order of Dagon.
Dagon.
An old being from the depths of the sea. In books, they show him as a monstrous amphibian. The Innsmouthers worship him as a god. And of course, they make sacrifices to him. In blood.
Sounds legit.
Nothing's for free in this city, is it? Figures. All right. Shoot.
You won't regret it. You've seen some of this city now, am I right? You've an inkling what's coming? I want out of the Order and the city before it hits. Trouble is, it's much easier to get into the Order than to leave. Give the slightest hint of it, you've signed your death warrant. I need somebody to get me out of the city on the quiet. And that's not an easy thing these days, my friend.
I've no idea how to help you with that.
Ain't you a detective? There are people in the city, smugglers, who know what to do. Find them. That's how you can help. See, I've heard whispers about ads in the newspaper. A new ad every week, talking about Salvation Harbor. Maybe start there.
Alright, fine. I'll look into it. But your lead on the professor had better be worth it.
I know where they've got her. I can get you there. You just find me a way out fast, or I might be too dead to be any use to you.
Any amount of dead would be too dead to be of use to me. Any amount. Where am I supposed to find more rags? Report to Throgmorton? Is he going to put me in touch with smugglers? That would be convenient. But probably not, because Throgmorton is probably busy stamping out any smugglers that he's aware of. Since he's the one that makes the rules that they're flaunting. Alright, does anybody remember where Throgmorton hangs out? There, that's it. Were the gorilla statues always out front? Did I just not notice that the whole time? Why was there a black screen there? Are they eating the corpse? They're eating a cake of the corpse? Throgmorton, what the hell's going on?
I know who's behind Professor Doe's kidnapping. It's an organization called the Esoteric Order of Dagon. Most of them stick to the fish market, but they seem to have agents everywhere. Even the university.
I knew there was something fishy about the EOD, the den of those filthy Innsmouthers. I'll tear it to the ground.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Actually, most of the EOD members I met were locals. And for what it's worth, the only Innsmouther I spoke to was a nice guy. You ought to examine your prejudices.
Are you calling me a bigot, Reed?
Yes.
Well, that's how you're acting. The Innsmouthers didn't want to end up here, and they didn't do it to spite you. Your hatred leaves them no choice but to retaliate. Can't you see the vicious cycle here?
They killed my son, for Kay's sake!
One man, not all of them. If you keep tarring every Innsmouther with the same brush, you'll radicalize them. And then all this will happen again. The only reason the EOD gained power here is because Innsmouthers had nowhere else to turn. You have to stop being part of the problem.
I shall try to think about what you have said.
That exchange could have gone a lot worse.
Back to business. I'll continue my search for Professor Doe. I have a promising lead. You have anything else to tell me?
Your task remains the same. Find Harriet and bring her back. You say we are dealing with an entire organization? Well, I have something for you that might help our cause should things take a turn. Now leave. I've heard enough from you.
Shotgun. Yes. Okay. We have 2 knowledge points, so we need to address that before we move on. What do we got here? Quest rewards. Crafting efficiency is tempting. More hit points, also tempting. Carry more ammo. Carry more ammo. Already picked up the pistol one. So let's take the revolver and the shotgun, of course. There we go. If only I had picked that up before he tried to give me more shotgun shells. Wouldn't that have been clever of me? And now, I can go ahead and craft them. And now we need to go find a bunch more gunpowder. Maybe we'll do that in between episodes. So, I feel like keeping and pushing on the main storyline. So we're going to go help out Fred. Advertisements for Salvation Harbor in the local newspaper. Well, you know what that means. We got to go dig through the newspaper archives. That's a thing we did before, I think. Yeah. So, where do we do that? At the newspaper, of course. Esoteric Order of Dagon. I'm not remembering enough of my mythology to recall what the relationship is between Mr. Dagon and Mr. Cthulhu. There certainly is one. I don't know if they're at the same level in the hierarchy, or if Dagon is like a lesser deity that works for Cthulhu or something like that. You want to give me another interview?
Stay safe.
I guess that's a no. Okay, so advertisements and Salvation Harbor. Commoners? No? Celebrities? Journalists? Officials? Okay, so it's got to be something in the period after the flood. There we go. The time has come to send Toothless Bob on his final journey, this time to the Seven Oaks Bar at the crossroad of Calmshore Street and Salvation Road in western Salvation Harbor. Well, obviously. Okay, so Calmshore and Salvation. Calmshore and Salvation. That's where we'll find Toothless Bob's wake. And hopefully we'll find a phone booth nearby as well. Now, do you people have goodies that I can raid? We're going to find out before we leave. Because I am obsessed with goodies. There's some. Nice. Is that a mini disc player? Oh, there's more up those stairs. Let's go. What other goodies await us? Guys, you can't just let all of this shit pile up on your printing presses. They're going to get all rusty and jammed up, and then what are you going to do? You're not going to have a newspaper anymore. This whole town is just going to pot. Alright, well now that we have raided what's left of the newspaper, might as well, there we go, head off to Salvation Harbor and see what the friends of Toothless Bob have to say for themselves. You would think that if it was this easy to find the smugglers, that they would not be smuggling anymore. people are just running around spilling their guts to some stranger they've never heard of. On the other hand, maybe that's why they're talking to me. Okay. No good options, but I think this is the better option. Check the Mind Palace for clues and deductions. Yeah, I need to be more aggressive about mind palacing, I think. This way? Not this way. I still find those cultists very strange. Just walking around all covered in blood and weird tattoos and looking completely bored with life. What is this about? Looked like I could go in there, but no. Get up there, come on. Really? Charles. There was no reason to go for that swim. You could have just taken a step up the ledge. Alright, so that one was no good. Which one will be good? This one over here, probably. There sure are a lot of those tentacle-tipped staffs to go around. I wonder who's carving them. Do you think we can get one? Do you think it'll be useful for anything if we can? The answer is no. I've wondered sometimes if it would be any fun to write like a modern version of these stories. I kind of feel like that whole idea of confronting an intolerable reality may have somewhat fallen apart since these were written. Like even some really basic tenets of that whole concept, the God doesn't love you idea, I feel like don't hit as hard anymore as they used to. Sign of the times, perhaps. But maybe the other thing about it is it feels like we know a lot more about the universe than we did in the era where these stories are set. Which is a funny thing to say because it really wasn't all that long ago. On the other hand, maybe that presents an avenue for a new kind of story. Instead of God doesn't love you, it would be more along the lines of, nothing you know is true. The way that you understand the universe to work is an illusion or a lie. Maybe that would be the way to go. On the other hand, I don't know if that would be as emotionally impactful as... I'm going to go ahead and delete this, I think. Yeah. Not as emotionally impactful as the way it's presented. Seven Oaks, here we go. Have I not been here before?
A little bird told me there are people in Oakmont who can help me leave town.
Maybe, maybe not. What makes you think I know anything?
I've heard they're having a wake for Toothless Bob here.
That may be true, but I don't know you from Adam. Prove you ain't some gumshoe.
I literally am a gumshoe. But that's not something that you'll like.
Actions speak louder than words. Maybe I can prove myself by helping you out with something. Solving problems is my specialty.
Okay. What about a little favor? Nothing fancy, don't worry. I expected a package to be delivered ages ago, but the courier still hasn't shown. Find out what's taking him so long. Here's the address.
Got it.
One more thing. If you don't find him, bring the package back, will ya? It's a crate full of the water of life, if you catch my drift.
It's Hooch.
Bye.
Okay, well, we're all out of time for episode whatever. So come back and see me again in episode whatever +1 for hunting down a courier that is probably either dead or turned into a wild beast. And we'll see about finding that crate. Talk to you soon.